Hello everyone, Coach John again. Today's video is going to be part 2 of tutorial number 7. So I made that video, I believe, last month, and that was an introduction to plyometrics. You've watched that video, you learned the moves that I taught, and you are becoming proficient with it, because you're going to need one of those movements to do what I am going to teach today, and that will be the box jump. All right, all you need for this tutorial, make sure your shoes are firmly tied. You don't want the laces to be loose when you're doing the jumps. Make sure you have some water, a towel, and some motivation to do this. All right, let's get started. There are two types of boxes that we can use when you're starting out with doing box jumps. I use two boxes here at the gym for my students and clients. I have a box here that is about 16 inches, I think 18 inches, not too sure. Usually we start with this box first before we go on to the standard box of 24 inches. I also have a 36-inch box, but I've only seen one of my students be able to do that box. Why don't we start the tutorial with the 16-inch box, and then we will proceed to the 24-inch box. Before we start this tutorial, make sure you do a total body warm-up. Make sure you have done some jumps to prime your body and your mind to start doing the box jumps. So I would recommend doing some jump squats, some long jumps, some side jumps, try some reverse jumps, and do some calf raises. The basic stance for all box jumps are going to be similar to how we did the jump squat or the forward jump. We start in this position with our feet shoulder width apart, feet slightly out. Our shoulders are facing forward, chest should be up. When you're doing the jump squat or the forward jump, you need to push your hips back into a squat position. We want to load the legs, create some tension here as a spring. And then when we're ready to jump, we are going to jump straight up, just like this. We also land back in to a shoulder width stance, feet slightly out, just like this, and stand back up. We want to maintain the distance here between our legs and the way our feet are positioned every single time we do a jump. Before you start your jump, make sure the box is stable. It's not moving around too much, or it will not collapse once you land on top of it. When we start the box jump, we want to get about a foot from the edge of the box to where your position will be. So I just used my foot here to give the distance. We don't want to be too far from the box. Same position as you would do a jump squat or a long jump. Feet shoulder width apart, make sure the distance, feet slightly out, shoulders squared. All I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my hands back while I squat down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump straight up and push forward. And I want to land in the center of the box in the exact same position that I am now. So hands back, I'm going to jump up and land exactly like how I started the box jump down here. Here's from the side view. Okay, remember, about a foot distance away from the box. Feet shoulder width apart. You're going to notice I'm going to push my hips back when I'm getting ready for the jump, just like this. See? Hands back. I'm going to throw my hands forward when I'm jumping. Control your legs while you're descending so you land softly in the middle of the box. And back up like that. If you notice, when I was doing the jumps and when I landed on the box, it was fairly quiet. I didn't make a loud smack, or you didn't hear a loud thud when I landed. And right now I'm 220 pounds. Even being this heavy, you can still land quietly on the box. What I am doing is when I am landing, I am controlling my legs. I'm not letting my legs slam into the box. I'm actually pulling some resistance into my legs so that when I land, I'm not just letting my legs drop onto the ground. So it's similar to doing weight training. When we're doing the eccentric movement, we want to control that weight when we're going down. We don't want to just to have it fall down onto ourselves. We control the weight by slowly resisting it and maintaining some pressure against it while you're going down. This is similar to what you would do with your legs when you're jumping up and about to descend onto the box. That way you're not going to make that loud thud. You can land softly, recover, and then if you're going to do another movement, you're able to get into the next movement quickly. Okay, so we learned the basics on how to jump onto the box. Now we also need to learn how to jump off the box correctly. There are many movements that you can do with the box where you can jump on, jump off, and do some more plyometric movements. You don't have to just do a box jump. When we jump off of a box, we don't want to jump off like we're gonna jump off a cliff or we're jumping off of a ship, right? Usually when you jump off of a ship, cross your arms, feet together, tuck your chin, and then you just dive straight down. We don't want to come off the box in a downward movement. Just step onto the box. Once again, same position as you did with the forward jump onto the box. Make sure you have a feet shoulder width distance. Feet is slightly outwards. Okay. Same thing. Arms back. Compress those legs to get ready for the jump, and you will just jump down, land in the same position, and come back up, just like that. As I described earlier, we don't want to jump off the box like this. Okay, that's an incorrect way to jump off the box. And what happens is, a lot of the stress and the load is going to get carried onto your knees. Okay, we want all of the stress and the shock of the movement to be absorbed by the muscles of the legs here. Let's take it from another angle. Okay, feet shoulder width apart, arms back. And we're not doing a long jump out, just jump in front of you safely. Remember, safety first. Okay, here. And back up just like that. This is how you should land every single time you come off of the box. If you notice that I landed in the same position that I started with, because from there you can transition into a long jump, or you can do another jump squat, or you can do the other variations of plyometrics. Let's combine the two movements that we just learned. The forward jump onto the box, and then off of the box onto the ground. All right, so you jump up, get yourself ready for the second jump, and back down, just like that. Box jump up, and all right, there's several things we want to avoid when we're doing these box jumps. We want to avoid them so we're not injured or we cause pain or unnecessary stress on our joints. A lot of beginners like to use their knees when they are doing box jumps or any kind of jumps. And I don't see them last very long. They might do plyometrics for about a week or two and then they stop because I'm sure they're starting to feel a lot of stress, a lot of pain here in the knees and not in the actual muscles themselves. We want to avoid jumping like this. Maybe you've seen people jump on the box by just using the knees. When I landed, I actually felt the shock here in my knees first. I did not feel it in the muscles like you're supposed to when you land. And actually my knees are starting to hurt. All right, we don't want to land on the box using our knees, nor do we want to jump off the box using our knees. You have to understand that when you are jumping down, gravity is putting more pressure on your descent. We don't want to do this. We don't want to jump off the box like this. And you can tell when I landed that you saw my knees go forward, or most of the shock and force was absorbed here in my knees. Use the muscles to do the jump. I did not feel any pressure here. When I go to jump off the box, same thing, okay? the shock, the pressure, everything was distributed evenly throughout my muscles and not just on the joints here or on the ankles themselves. One of the biggest issues I see when people start doing this box jump is hesitation. So they will come up to the box, they'll spend some time thinking about the movement, and then when they're ready to jump, they're unable to jump on this box even though it's only 16 inches. I know maybe it seems like it's tall from here, but it really isn't. When you're doing this movement, you need to commit to the movement. When you are here already, you're compressed, you're ready to go, no matter what, as soon as you drive forward, you have to go all the way. Don't hesitate, don't think about it. If you're gonna do any thinking about the movement, anything at all, you stand here, you do your thinking, just like how I am now, okay? Don't even get into the position. When you get into position, that means you are ready to go and you are committed to doing the movement. So do all your thinking here, how you're gonna land, how you're gonna control your legs, how you're going to breathe, you do it just like this. When you're ready to do the movement, this is already the commitment position and you're going to go for it. Don't overthink this movement, okay? If you have the jump squat down and the long jump down from part one, you can clear this 16-inch box with no problem. Regardless of your weight or your height or any other factors, this is a very easy box to start jumping on. When you're starting box jumps for the 16-inch box or similar height, you can start with just doing one jump. Focus on doing each jump correctly. You can start by doing one repetition for 5 to 10 sets. If you start to feel yourself feeling fatigued or you're starting to slip, let's say you barely made the box, that is a sign that you need to take longer rest periods. You can do a rest period of about 2 to 3 minutes in between each jump. When you become better and your endurance improves, you can cut it down to about a minute in between the jumps. If you want more of a challenge for the jump, of course, you can increase it to doing 3 jumps for each set, maybe 5 jumps for each set. Now, if that is still not a challenge to you, you can step up to a 24-inch box. Everything is the same when you're doing the 24-inch box. It's just going to be higher. So that requires more confidence from you, and maybe you may have to build some more of your lower body muscles before you start doing a 24-inch box. Ways you can improve your jumping ability, as I explained earlier, are when you're doing lower body movements, you're controlling the descent or the eccentric portion of the movement. So you can try doing 3 to 4 seconds during a descent. Let's say you're doing a body squat, you can go ahead and control the descent just like this and come up. That will help you develop power and strength to do higher jumps or further jumps. When you're ready to jump the 24-inch box, everything is exactly the same as the 16-inch box. I'm not going to do anything different. It's just going to be a little bit higher. All right, same distance. I get about 1 foot distance from the box. Okay, arms back, jump forward. I'm going to land on the box. And let's say that I want to jump back onto the ground. Same thing. Jump back onto the ground, just like that. Let's try a different angle from the side. Same thing, feet are shoulder width apart, slightly out. I'm going to use the muscles here to compress into a squat position, arms back. Okay, when I feel some tension here, nice and tight, I'm going to release by jumping up and forward onto the box. Land quietly, and I'm going to jump up the box again, same position. That's it for the forward box jump. As you can tell, it's very similar to doing a jump squat or a long jump. Most important thing to remember is the proper feet position. Your legs are properly compressed into a squat every time you do that box jump, you are using the squat position and not your knees to do the jump. And the last thing is, once you are in that squat position, you are committed. Don't overthink it. I know for some people it's difficult to say, don't let fear override you, but just go for it, and I promise you, you're gonna make that box jump. What holds people back is overthinking and not committing to the jump once they are in that squat position. That's it everyone for tutorial number 7, part 2 of 2. I hope that some of the techniques and tips that I share with you will help you become more proficient at doing box jumps. If you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. Until next time, peace.